is going on, Raider Nation? It is JT coming at you with another news video. Just recently, around 2 hours ago, the Raiders released their first regular season unofficial depth chart for the 2022 season for Week 1 versus the Los Angeles Chargers. There wasn't a lot of surprises going on in this little depth chart we have here, but I'm going to take a look at it anyway and just share my thoughts of just my thoughts. So let's take a look. So let's head over here. So this is the official Raiders website, and let's scroll down. So let's take a look. So let's take a look at the offense first. So we have Devontae Adams, Mac Hollins, and Tyron Johnson, being the wide receivers, and then you also have down here Hunter Renfrow and DJ Turner. Looks like they're the slot wide receivers, which makes sense. So it definitely seems like DJ Turner's the backup slot if we need, him to take over from Hunter Renfrow for a little bit or anything like that. But I feel like DJ Turner is going to be a bit of a do-it-all type of guy, jack of all trades type of player, maybe like a wide back similar to Debo. I might do a video on my thoughts of how they're going to use them at a later time, but definitely think about that. Looking at the O-line, that's like the most important thing, I think, is you have Colt Mill at left tackle, John Simpson is officially starting, you have Andre James at center, you have Lester Cotton at right guard, and then right tackle is Jermaine Illuminor. So this is pretty much the depth chart or the O-line we saw that we thought we were going to see heading into the season. They threw a little curveball with Dylan Parham playing against the Patriots, and that made even me think like, oh, maybe he'll actually be starting and John Simpson is backup. But it was kind of a silly thought. Parham is still a rookie. Definitely let him develop a little bit more. Plus, he's very valuable as a very diverse and versatile backup guard center. So it makes sense to keep him as a backup for now, but in the future I could definitely see him either being the starting left guard or even starting center if Andre James underperforms as well. And then you have right guard being Lester Cotton. It's literally Lester Cotton's job. There's no other guard behind him besides Dylan Parham, and I don't see Dylan Parham going to the right side. I think Cotton has a lot to prove. This first game should be a pretty decent test for him. The Chargers interior defensive line isn't exactly like, insanely good, but Sebastian Joseph Day and the guy from the Giants, I forget his name now, but they're pretty decent at defensive tackle, so they should be a pretty good test to see where he is in terms of development and stuff like that. And then at right tackle you have Illuminor winning the starting spot over Munford, which is not surprising as Munford has been dealing with injury and stuff like that, but I don't expect Illuminor to be the right tackle of the future. I think it will definitely be Munford's job later down the line, but I don't know if this season it will happen. I think it will just stick with Illuminor as he's a very serviceable, decent right tackle. He's not going to be an all-pro or Pro Bowl or even remotely close, but he'll be good enough that Carr doesn't get killed this season. Taking a look at the tight ends, that's what we expected. QB, that's what we expected. Running back, I thought it was interesting that Josh Jacobs is 1, Brandon Bolden is running back 2, Amir Abdullah is 3, Zamir White and Brandon Brown are 4 and 5. So we might not even see these guys play. We'll probably play 4 running backs in I think it's the starting 46 or something like that, or dressed up for game days. So we'll probably see these 4 dressed up, but no Britton Brown, I'm assuming, unless there's an injury to Jacobs or Bolden or Abdullah or anything like that. And then White probably won't get a lot of carries or any sort of snaps outside of special teams, but you never know. McDaniels likes to change it up a lot, so we could see a lot of Zamir, or we could not see any of Zamir. But these 3 are definitely the starters. It makes sense to have Amir as the running back 3, just because he's very versatile in terms of like being a wide receiver or a running back or special teams, especially special teams. Brandon Bolden's a very good running back 2, or I should say not very good. He's a very decent running back 2. He's not good. He's not anything crazy, but he's versatile as well. And Josh Jacobs is definitely what would be called a bell cow back. He's not going to be used as a bell cow back in a McDaniels offense, but he definitely can be. So we all know that, though. And then Jacob Johnson is a fullback, but as we know, that was expected. So taking a look at the defense, again, nothing too crazy in terms of like where the depth is. The only thing is that it's very interesting that we have outside linebackers being Divine Diablo and Jayon Brown. And then the middle linebackers are Denzel Perryman and Darian Butler. And then backing up Jayon Brown is actually Luke Masterson. So I think his coverage skills really showed that he can play like outside. And I think it's interesting that they're called outside linebackers and not anything like a Sam or Will. Because middle linebacker or interior linebacker is expected like the Mike. Denzel Perryman was going to always be middle. But Darian Butler, I didn't think of him as a middle linebacker. I thought it was going to be Masterson because Masterson wore the green dot a lot, but I guess it was flip-flopped. And I guess if we're doing these types of things, outside linebacker, I find that, I don't know, I find it weird. I think maybe it's just a generic thing. They're not actually doing like Sam or like anything like that, but maybe it's just nothing. But it's just weird to see outside linebacker and see Divine Diablo's name right next to it. By defensive end, you have Malcolm Kuntz being the third string, and then Cleveland Farrell and Toshawn Bauer being the backups to Jones and Crosby. Honestly, Farrell and Bauer being the backups means that our run defense should be pretty decent on the edge, even when these two guys are not in. Billings and Nichols being the starters over Hankins. Billings being starting over Hankins is interesting to me, but maybe Hankins is still a little banged up and they want to rest him a little bit more. Billings was definitely very good. Well, not very good. He was decent. I keep using like these big words and overhyping these guys, but Billings was decent. He wasn't anything like super crazy, but these two guys, they should be space eaters, and he should be a good pass rushing defensive tackle. That's what we got him for. Kendall Vickers being ahead of either of these guys is good to see, because that means he's developed well in the practice squad over the past 2 seasons, and it gives these guys some time to develop as well. And Hankins is, if he's our defensive tackle too, that means their Billings has been playing pretty well, because Hankins is a really good defensive tackle. And then for corner, you have obviously Nate Hobbs. Actually, not obviously. Nate Hobbs and Rocky Sin. It looks like they might be the outside line corners, and then one of these two are playing the slot. That might be what's happening. Or maybe these are the outside corners, and these are the slot guys. Who the hell knows? They didn't specify, which is kind of weird. Free safeties being Trayvon Murray, Deron Harmon, Isaiah Palomau, or not anything out of ordinary. Same thing with Abram and Teamer being the strong safeties is not unexpected. I don't expect a lot of these guys to be dressed for games. Like, these two definitely won't be. These three definitely won't be. I mean, Kuntz maybe if they were 5, maybe one of these guys. But you have to sit. Was it 7 players? So probably either Junior Farrell or Butler will sit. Definitely Sam Webb and Palomau will probably sit. And then you have like Britton Brown will sit and stuff like that. And then like Darren Munford and Parham and Bartone will probably sit as well. So stuff like that. And then for the specialists, we have AJ Cole, Daniel Carlson, holders AJ Cole, long snappers Trent Sieg, kick returners Amir Abdullah, which is why he is so high on, is why he was kept, because he's a really good special teamer, and he's a really good, pretty decent pass catching running back as well. And then you punt returner Hunter Renfrow, which I fucking hope not, but because I don't want him catching punts at this point. He's earned his role to not be a punt returner anymore, but I guess I want to keep him, and he's a good punt returner too. But DJ Turner, I'd be happy to see him take punts if that means he can like earn a spot on the starting 46 and be dressed for games. And Tyron Johnson, these two guys should be pretty good at kick returning as well. But that's really it for the depth chart. Nothing absolutely insane here. Nothing crazy unexpected. Should be an awesome game. I'm excited to see how these guys play, especially the defense. I'm really excited to see how this defense plays against a really good offense, and obviously this offense is going to be freaking amazing no matter what, in my opinion. But this is going to be a very good test for our defense week 1. But also some other news is we have Keelan Cole and Alex Bars coming back to the practice squad, and they waived VanValkenburg, and they put one of the offensive tackles that we just signed on like an injured practice squad spot. So I don't know how that works, but Keelan Cole coming back, the fact that we have an 800-yard receiver or 600-yard receiver on our practice squad that's pretty good. And he's a pretty freaking good practice squad player to have. And Alex Bars is a decent guard backup. Like, he's a decent backup. He's not really a starter at all, but he'll be a solid backup, or just practice squad guy to have around just in case we do need him. Hopefully not, because if we have Alex Barr starting, that means something went wrong, really, really wrong. But Keelan Cole being in the practice squad is fine by me, because it's like an insurance policy. If DJ Turner or Tyron Johnson aren't working out and we just need someone there, we can call up Keelan Cole. Or if this, God forbid, some sort of injury higher up on the depth chart, we can call up Keelan Cole and use him, and he'll be, you know, a solid receiver to have on our team. It's very surprising that Keelan Cole did not get another team to me, because he's not a bad receiver at all. Like, the Bears should have snapped him up, in my opinion. He would probably be the best receiver that they have, besides other than Darnell Mooney. He'd be like wide receiver 2 easily, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, what you guys think of the depth chart. Anything surprised you or anything like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm nearly there to 100 subs. I'm at 89 or 90 right now, so I'm 10 away, and we're just under a week away until the Raiders play. So hoping I make it to 100. If not, I still greatly appreciate all the support I've gotten recently on Twitter and on YouTube. I love you guys a lot. I love Raider Nation. Love you guys a lot. Hope you had a great day, and peace out, Raider Nation.